All right, all right, all right. Hey, listen, I'm trying to set my room up on Clubhouse this morning, but I did it incorrectly. So, Jonathan, I see you're in here, but we're in the house this morning, but I'm going to change it back over to our club. So I'm going to set that up right now so that we can go ahead and get in there. So I'm going to change over to the club this morning. Jonathan, see you over there. I'm going to shut this one down. Okay, see ya. All right, let's get over into the club, schedule a room, and we're going to get that going. All right. And we're bringing it over now, pasting it. All right. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different today. We're going to get the right day, which is today, and the right time. All right. Get the date in and the right time. All right. There we go. And publish it. All right. And start the room. All right. So anyway, folks, this is going to be a little bit different today. So what we're doing, if you're buying real estate, all right, as a home buyer or as a real estate investor, okay, what you're doing is you're building net worth, and we're going to talk about the process. Understanding the process of building net worth today in a way that you can build net worth the right way. All right, let's invite some folks to speak. We got Coffee Brown coming in here. Let me just bring her up, and anybody else that wants to come to speak. Let me see here. Invite. There we go. All right, folks. So here's what you want to know. All right. We are actually purchasing net worth with pennies while our dollars pay interest. And I'm going to break that down for you today and what that means. Coffee Brown, how are you this morning?
I am exceptional. How are you?
I'm doing well, but the Matrix won't let you be great today. So, are you on the road right now? Yeah, we're not hearing her. Okay. Anyway, folks. So, if you have some ideas about this, when you're purchasing anything, all right, what we should be doing is saying, how does that help me or hurt me? How does that build my net worth? So, we're talking about in terms of property right now, or even cars, or even jewelry or artwork. Whatever it is you're purchasing, how does that build your net worth? And how are you leveraging somebody else's money to do it? That is what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be putting some things on the screen so that you'll be able to see. I'm going to put my 10K card at the top of the screen right now. So if you want to see what we're doing, if you're in here on Clubhouse, then go to my YouTube channel and search P.I.L.L Method, and then you'll be able to do that. So you'll be able to see what's going on. ICE 10K. All right, ice10k.com. All right, done. We're going to add the link to the top of the room. There we are. So, Coffee, jump in at any time when you believe you are going to be available, because this conversation is going to be a little bit different today. I can hear you great now. So go ahead, introduce yourself to the folks and talk to us about what you're doing today.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I am super excited to be in the building with Dr. Don. He is the doctor of financial freedom. So we're so excited to be in his presence this morning. I am a certified master life coach with an emphasis in helping entrepreneurs, creatives, and collaborators to be able to understand the importance of having a published work. And what I do is I help them to generate anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 from their first publication. And guess what? That's before it's ever even published. So if you want more information on how you too can start getting on that highway to financial independence through literary work, just DM me directly on Instagram. Please don't back channel me here. It does sometimes get a little bit convoluted back channels here, but definitely DM me on Instagram after you give me a follow. And I yield the mic back over to I think.
Thank you so much for that. So, folks, I'm getting things set up here. We're going to add some stuff. All right. And we're also going to share that. And we're going to share a screen right now so we can get that going so that you can see what we're talking about. We're just going to do a little bit of math today and understand where we are in relationship to our money. Where are you in this machine called economics, finances? What is our purpose in that? So when we understand our purpose, then we get a better idea of what's going on. We think we're going to work every day. We think that we're purchasing stuff, a house or whatever. We think that we're living our best life without really understanding what's going on. When it comes to finances, somebody's at the top, somebody's in the middle, somebody's at the bottom. The person at the top, okay, is saying, I've got a lot of money. What can I do with my money so I can make more money? I'm not manufacturing anything. I'm not building anything. I'm not even selling anything. All right. What the people with money do, they rent their money for as much as they can, for as long as they can. And for those of us who are trading our time for money, I mean, you could be making really good income. You know, I know, listen, when my niece graduated from college, she was making over, 100K a year. I mean, well, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much she was making, but it was well over 100K a year. Okay. And so people can do well financially, but where are, even those who do well financially, where are they in the system, and what is their purpose in the system? Their purpose in the system is this, ladies and gentlemen, is those who, let me get this off the screen. All right. Those who have money, all right, they're saying, I need to be able to find a way to make more money. So they're going to, what are they doing? They have to find a resource. They have to find a natural resource. Their natural resource is us. How do you turn a natural resource into money? So you got these people who are willing to work for money, but they need a house to live in. They may need an education that they need to get a student loan for. They also may need to purchase a car, and we'll make sure that they have 2 or 3 credit cards each. But here's the thing. They will not be in financial trouble. They will do well financially. They can pay their bills. They can buy the house that they want to live in. They can drive the car that they want to drive. I just talked to somebody who just brought his entire family to Rome, Italy, just flew in, got off the plane this morning, today in Rome. Man, that's a pretty good life. But even though he can do that with his family, what part does he play in the grand scheme of things? In the grand scheme of things, he is just a cog in the machine that somebody says, I want to lend out money. And when I lend that money out, I want to make as much as I can for as long as I can, even from those people who do well financially. Okay, so let me give you an idea of the kind of thing we can get caught up in, where we are turning over our blood, sweat, and tears, our time, our effort, so somebody else can profit. All right. So if we're buying a house, okay, and there are millions, 90 million, 100 million mortgages out there. Okay. And somebody is lending the money and somebody is paying it back. And when you take a look at how they're paying it back in a way that we are not paying attention to, it means a lot of money. Can I give you just an example of that? And listen, ping some other people into the room if you don't mind. Sharing the room doesn't really work anymore. So if you can ping a few people into the room, I would appreciate that. So let's go to the screen and I want you to see what I'm talking about. I have a $200,000 mortgage on the screen at 6%. The payment is $1199.10. I need you to take a look at how much interest is paid on the very first line. $1,000 out of $1,199.10 is going to interest. I need you to see the breakdown of this. It's a payment that can be afforded. All right. It's at 6%. You can afford the payment. But here's what we're not paying attention to. All right. So if I have $1,000 in interest and I divide that by 11, 1,100, okay, $1,199.10. Okay, there it is. I divide it by the entire payment. Here's what I come up with. 83.833. That's 83% of that payment goes to interest. That means about 17% of that payment went to pay down the loan. Now, I need you to focus in on this for a minute. Somebody who has a lot of money has said, I have money to lend. I can lend that money in such a way as people believe that their payment is low enough. And so here's what we're comparing the payment to. The payment is compared to rent. I'm renting the same. If I were to rent the same size house, it would probably cost me 2 times more, or maybe even 2.5 times more to rent the same property for what I'm paying for buying a property. But when I buy a property like that, I'm actually buying equity. I'm actually buying net worth. I'm using somebody else's money to buy my net worth or to pay for equity. Equity is the difference between how much a property is worth and how much I owe. All right. So the whole idea of getting into this real estate game has been and always been is not just shelter. If it was just shelter, then just rent. The reason why you buy is to build net worth. That's the whole reason. So every time you make a payment, you are purchasing more net worth. And when you have completed your payments, now you take a look at the property, you see how much how much the property is worth, you see how much you owe on it. When you don't owe anything else, there's nothing else to subtract. And whatever the property is worth, you add that to your net worth. So if the property is worth $200,000, you just added $200,000 to your net worth. If you own a business that is free and clear. And somebody, you can get people to help you to figure out what that business is worth. If your business is worth $500,000 and your house is worth $500,000, that's $1,000,000 in net worth because there's nothing to subtract from it. If you have $1,000,000 in property or assets, you have $1,000,000 in assets, but you owe $300,000, then that means you have a net worth of $700,000. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. So now that you understand a little bit about net worth, let me show you what the bank is doing, here. And jump in anytime you want, Coffee. But here's what the bank is doing. You are now purchasing net worth with their money. And when you take a look at this very first payment, $199 goes to your net worth. You are increasing your net worth by $199. But you have to pay $1,000 of your hard-earned money to the person or entity that loaned you to the money so that you can create more net worth. Coffee, what do you think about that? If you're able to speak this morning, because I know you're always busy. All right, folks. Anybody else want to come to the stage and have this conversation? All right. Come to the stage and have this conversation with me because we need to understand where our net worth is coming from and how we're building it. All right. We're gonna lay it out line by line so that you can understand what is happening. So every month on this loan, all right, we're building the net worth by $199, $200, $202. We're adding to the net worth. But look how much it costs. Because it's a payment we can afford, but we begin to lose track of how much we're paying for our net worth. Okay. I want to say good morning to everybody who's watching us online right now. If you're in the room and you want to see this, if you want to see what we're doing, go to on a secondary device, go to YouTube and search P.I.L.L Method and find our live this morning. Go ahead and also subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that notification bell so that you can know what is happening. So whenever we're on, you can know and be there. All right. So listen, if you're watching us on YouTube or any other social media platform, go ahead and put something in the comments. Tell us where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from and who you are this morning. And all of those of you are in Clubhouse this morning. Go ahead and let me see here. Let's get rid of this. I don't know why people come in here and do that. Come in here and in my in my messages and leave a message selling something else that nobody else wants. I don't know why they do that, but I got rid of it. So here we are, folks. So do you understand where we're going? We have people who are saying, I'm going to lend you money and then you're going to pay me back money. But let's see how much they're making on this. All right. They're making 80. When you make a payment, 83% of your payment goes to them and only 17% goes to you. So let's break it down per payment dollar. Housing dollar. Out of your housing dollar, here's what's happening. 83 cents out of that dollar you borrowed and you're paying back that housing dollar. Okay. 83 cents of that dollar pays interest. 17 cents of that dollar buys your home. So we're buying our net worth with pennies while our dollars pay interest. And it's so easy to lose focus on that because once we close on the home, no one is really talking about how much interest we're paying to make everything run. And it is the bank's idea that you never get to really pay attention to that. You're paying attention to a lot of other things. Interest rate, you're paying attention to the payment, you're paying attention to how much money you borrowed, you're paying attention right now to your taxes, how much in what tax strategies you're going to employ to hang on to your money. But right now, you're set up to do something that is really inefficient. So think of your loan as an engine, as a car engine. And a car engine, you put gasoline in that engine to make it run. And think of it as every dollar that you put in, every gallon of gas that you put in, 83% of every gallon you put in is wasted, and you're only using 17% of the fuel you put in to run that car. 17%. But you're paying 60, 40, 50, $60 every time you fill up. But you only get to use 17% of those dollars to run the car. And then you turn around 2 or 3 days later and fill it back up. That's what's happening in the financial world with us if we're not careful. So where we want to be is, how do we increase efficiency? Because right now, folks, this is very inefficient. If your house right now is either being heated or cooled, wherever you live in the United States right now, or wherever you're logging in from in the world, if your house is being heated or cooled right now, and 83% of your energy went out through the walls or through the windows or out the open door, how expensive would it be to heat and cool your house if 83% of the energy you're using just went out the door? You wouldn't live like that. You would be buying windows. You would be putting in you'll be doing leak tests. You'll be doing you'll be putting in new thermostats. You're going to do a whole lot of stuff so that you can make your house more energy efficient. If you have a car that is not energy efficient, that you're getting 3 miles to the gallon, and I said it right. Every gallon, you're getting 3 miles instead of getting 30 or 40 miles per gallon. That is a very inefficient car. You're going to do something about that. So, folks, if we're going to do something about our inefficient house, if we're going to do something about our inefficient car, what are we doing about our inefficient loans? Absolutely nothing. But we can know. It is possible to know. We don't have to pay. Now, let me show you some things here. If you want to see what I'm doing, if you're new to the room, go to YouTube so you can see what we're doing. Look up P.I.L.L method and on YouTube so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm showing you that here's what the bank hopes you lose sight of, that you're paying your loan down with 17 cents out of every dollar starting out. It gets better as we go on. It'll get to 17 cents for every dollar, then 18 cents for every dollar, but it's so slow. But then you get to increase the amount of money that goes to principal and decrease the amount of money that goes to interest. But in the beginning, it is very slow, very slow. So once you look at it this way and compare it to your car, or compare it to your house, or even compare it to your job, where you're putting in your 40 hours. And when it's all said and done, the taxes and the child care no matter how much you're supposed to get paid, you end up with $400 in your paycheck. You can't live on that. You can't live like that. But when you're looking at your paycheck every week, you're forced to take a look at that. And because you're forced to take a look at it, you want to do something about it. When you're putting gas in your car, you're forced to take a look at how much money you're spending on gas because your car is inefficient. When you're paying to heat and cool your house and your electric bill or your gas bill is $400, $500, nearly $1,000 a month, you're forced to take a look at it. But folks, when you pay your mortgage, all you're doing is you're paying your mortgage every month, and you lose sight of how much money is actually going to interest. You lose sight of that. So let me show you how not to lose sight of that. In the first year, we make sure that we add up how much principal, how much money goes to pay for the house, and how much money goes to interest that provides you the opportunity to pay for the house. So the bank provides me the opportunity to pay for my house. In 1 year, $2,456 goes to pay for my house. But because the bank provided the opportunity for that money to go to pay for my house, they charge me $11,933.19 for the opportunity to pay $2,456 and a penny to purchase my house. In 2 years, I will pay the house down by $5,063, but it will cost me $23,714 for the opportunity to pay $5,000 towards my home. Folks, is this beginning to sink in that this is how we should look at how we're purchasing our equity? Pennies go to purchase our equity, while dollars go to pay for the interest in order to pay for the equity. Anybody think that that's too much money? Let's start talking about it. Even put something in the chat this morning. All right? Converse with me. If you think that is too much money to pay, put the number 9 in the chat for me, online and on Clubhouse. If you think that is too much money for anybody to pay, and I'm going to show you what happens when we focus in the wrong area to try to fix that. Put a number 9 in the chat if you think that we're paying too much money to purchase our equity. All right. And so Jonathan Jones says number 9. Anybody else? All right. Let's put some comments in the chat. And if you're available, come to the stage and let's talk about it. Come to the stage and let's talk about it. All right. So here's what we can do. Let me show you what happens every time we try to do something about the inefficiency of our methodology in purchasing assets. I'm going to show you what would happen if we could get, I'm going to duplicate this tab, and we're going to drop this interest rate to 5%. Maybe that will help us. Let's take a look at that. 5% interest rate. So here's what we're told. If we control the interest rate, we will spend less money, but no one talks about how much less. Okay? No one's talking about how much less. So let's take a look at this. We're only looking at the payment. All right? The payment is now $1,073. That is our focus, but that's a distraction. The payment is our focus, but the payment is a distraction. $1,199.10 was the other payment. Okay, almost $1,200. Now our payment is not even $1,100. It's $1,073.64. But let's take a look at what's going on here. we're still only purchasing our property with $240 while $833 goes to interest. Let's take a look at those numbers. So I have a payment of $1,073.64. My first interest payment is $833. Okay, let's $833.33. My and then my entire payment is $1,073.64. So let's divide it by $1,073.64 equals 77 cents. So 77 cents out of every dollar goes to interest, gives me the ability to pay, the rest of the money towards principal or creating equity. Man, oh man. 78 cents. 78 cents. I got a dollar. I subtract 78 cents. So I'm spending 22 cents on buying my house. When we're forced to look at it, we want to do something about it, but our whole what is the word I'm looking for? Our whole conditioning about purchasing a home or purchasing assets using somebody else's money is not here. It's somewhere else. We're focused somewhere else, and we're not realizing that we're purchasing something with 22 cents out of our housing dollar, where 78 cents goes to the bank. Listen, let's take this down again. I'm going to duplicate this tab one more time. Let's just take it all the way down to 3%. 3% has to be better. All right. So we're going to take it down to 3% this time. Do it again. All right. Now we got a 3% loan. We have a 3% loan. Our payment is $843.21. We're going to bring back our calculator and we're going to do the same thing again. Our interest cost on that very first loan, on our very first payment is $500. So we take our $500, we divide it by our total payment of $843.21. Look at here, 59%. Even at 3%, 59% is going to the bank. 59 cents out of the dollar. That means 41 cents out of the dollar is paying for the house. That is still way too much money. Why do you want to give over half of your housing dollar away to somebody else when less than half is doing what you wanted to do, only because it's a payment you can afford? Is there anybody have any questions about this morning on how this works and what we can do about it? Does anybody want to know what you can do about this morning, whether online or in Clubhouse? Do you want to know what you can do? Because it's math, folks. It's plain and simple math this morning. Stop. You want to ice your loans. Use interest cancellation techniques and understand how these loans actually work, so you do not have to keep giving all your money away in order to use the bank's money to purchase. It is not required that you give away 59% or 77% or 83%. It is not required. It's just suggested. It is preferred by the bank that you do that, but it is not required that you pay all of that money to borrow their money. Does anybody want to know what they can do about that this morning? Okay. Interest cancellation techniques. ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. Okay. I'm the interest cancellation expert, Ed, but interest cancellation, it also stands for Interest Cancellation Eliminates. Interest cancellation eliminates inefficiency. Interest cancellation eliminates your debt much cheaper. Interest cancellation eliminates this old way of thinking about your money so that you can make room for understanding it better and using less of your money to pay for equity. To pay interest and more of your money to buy equity. Watch this out of the same payment. Let me give you an example here. Let's go back. Let's go back here to exactly leverage rules. All right. You want to learn what they're doing to leverage, understanding how they're leveraging, Ed, so that we can learn how to leverage within the same loan. Now, within this same loan at 6%, how this leveraging works is they're leveraging, making us pay interest on the unpaid balance 360 times. So we think when we get a mortgage, we think we have one mortgage at 6%. Oh no. That's why we need to understand the rules. So I have a mortgage of 6%. I'm putting this on the screen right now, Ed. If I hope you're watching this on YouTube as well. Okay. I'm putting this on the screen, and we're looking at how much money is going to principal and how much money is going to interest. How do they figure that? How does that get figured? We're going to put 6% on our calculator, 0.06%, 0.06, that's 6%. They take this number, their formula essentially boils down to this. This is the amortization formula. It boils down to this, taking their 6% interest rate, dividing it by 12, divided by 12, we get 0.005. Then they take 1/12 of the interest rate and multiply it by the unpaid balance. So we're going to multiply that by $199,800.90. Look at that. $999. You see on line 2, that's your interest cost, because they don't take the $200,000 and then multiply it and then do something with 6%. No, they don't do the 200,000. They do the 200,000 one time times 1/12 of the interest rate. And then they do the principal balance that's left over, $199,800.90, and do that by 1/12 of the interest rate. And they keep doing that every single month. So every single month you allow them to do that, it's a brand new mortgage. It's not one mortgage, it's 360 separate mortgages every single month. That's why it's so doggone expensive. Those are the rules. So how do you eliminate the interest? How do you eliminate that huge cost so more of your money goes to principal or creating equity for a lot cheaper? All right. So here's what you do, Ed, and anybody else who wants to know. So if I have this, if I understand the rules, every time I allow them to charge me interest on the unpaid balance, I got to pay money. But that's when I wait 30 days. That's according to their timing. I make a payment, I wait 30 days, I pay a lot of interest. I make a payment, I wait another 30 days, I pay a lot of interest. So what if you did this? What if you paid your regular mortgage payment? And this is just an example. My next principal payment is $200.10. Do you realize I don't have to wait to give the bank that $200.10? And this is going to be key here, folks. This is key. If I give that $200.10 early, all of this money goes to principal. Okay. I just created another $200 in equity, but I didn't have to pay them a dime of interest for it. So 100% of my payment, of that payment, goes to equity. 0% goes to interest. That is hot. Watch this. So that $200 goes to principal. Let's say I make my very first payment in January. And then I make another $200.10. I put that on principal. Okay. In January. Now I'm paid down to line 2 here. So now the bank has to use $199,600.80 to do their math magic. They do their math on this amount, which tells them that now they have to charge me next month $201.10 in principal, $998 in interest. The $999 I don't have to pay. So I got the $200. If I pay it early, if I pay it on my own time, I got $200 in equity for free. I didn't have to pay them a dime of interest to get this. All right. Chris Jones says, I need this education. All right. Chris Jones is Chris, where are you from? All right. Because I see you're here on watching us on YouTube. But what part of the world are you in right now? Okay, so thank you for saying that. So go ahead and type that in. So folks, here's what I'm saying. If you think about it, then how do you turn this thing around? I want to get a payment I can afford. But I also want to take advantage of the weakness in the system so that I don't have to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to get pennies in equity. All right. We got Sammy just came in. Sammy, we are putting some things on our screen, and our screen, you can see it on YouTube. So if you have a secondary device and you want to see what we're doing, please go to YouTube. And I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that way you're able to see this and you can see the part that you missed. So right now, we're looking at the inefficiency of using bank money the way that we've been taught to purchase assets. We're purchasing assets with pennies, while dollars go to the bank, who provides the ability to purchase the house. Okay, we bought the house from somebody else and now we're paying the bank back. But the way that they do it is very inefficient. We have looked at the very first payment here, and only 17 cents out of every payment dollar is paying for the house, while 83% in the early years is going to interest. 83 cents out of my dollar is being wasted. It's not doing what I want it to do. I call it wasted because it's not doing what I want it to do. Listen, folks, it is not my purpose in life to make the bankers rich. What my purpose in life is so that I can build wealth, generational wealth. I can build equity for my family, and I want to do it in a more efficient way, but I want to leverage somebody else's money to do it. But the way we've been taught to leverage, it is way too expensive. So folks, if you've seen this, so Ed, what do you say about this? Does that make sense to you that we can kind of reverse that leveraging action? All right. Ed is saying here, great insight. Just $200 saved you $9.99. Come on, Ed. That is exactly right. So if I can take a look at how this thing actually works, we can do some fantastic thing. Ed says he said Ed's got something else. Let's put that on our screen. So first challenge is not buying a mortgage that not buying a mortgage that gives you breathing if you're disciplined. First challenge is not, I think you meant that by not buying a mortgage that doesn't give you breathing room. Okay. So if you get a mortgage, I think what you're saying is if you get a mortgage that's taking all of your money, then you can't do this system. Oh, au contraire, Ed. Once you understand interest cancellation, you can do a lot with a little. Okay. So Ed, if we do this, if we looking at this, all right, I'm going to put a calculator on the screen, and I have another calculator on my phone. Okay. I'm pulling up the calculator on my phone too. All right. So we're going to do something. We're going to do a little experiment this morning. Here's my experiment. All right. So I don't, in my program, Ed, I'm not putting on $200 every single month. Okay. Ed says interest only mortgage and discipline gives you the smallest mortgage obligation. Ooh, Ed. Ooh, Ed. I love an interest only loan. I love an interest only loan. And do you know why? Because I have complete control over principal. Complete control over principal. And I can save a lot of money with an interest only loan. I absolutely love them. Okay? I love it. So if you're in control of the principal payment, folks, you're in control of the loan, not the interest rate, not the term. If you're in control of the principal payment, you control the loan, and interest payments you skip don't matter. How about that? So if you have a larger interest rate, do you realize your principal payment is smaller? So right now, if you're faced with getting a new property and you're faced with an interest rate of 5, 6, or 7, and you're saying, I don't want 5, 6, or 7. I want something lower because you have been conditioned to think lower. It is not helpful. The lower the interest rate, the higher the principal payment, and you attack the loan with the principal payment. Come on. Edward Hook says he loves that. This is how you ice a loan. Interest cancellation eliminates. And you put whatever you want after that. Ice your loan. Ice your equity. Ice the amount of interest that you pay. You do not have to pay that money to the bank. All right. And so here's what we also have done, Ed. We've actually taken a lot of that out of the picture. You know, that discipline thing. How much discipline does it take? How much discipline does it take if you're going on a trip in your car and you put your destination into your GPS unit? How much discipline does it take to put the information into the GPS unit and then follow the instructions? It does take some discipline, but not as much as it would take to learn how to read a map, to memorize the map, stop every now and then to make sure that you're on track. If there's a detour, now you got to pull the map back out and learn how to get around the detour. Not as much discipline as all of that. But if there was a cloud-based computing platform that you could put your income in and all of your financial obligations in, and all you had to do was put in how much you're spending and how much you're making every month, and the AI system would then tell you, this is how much money to put away. And you keep putting it away until the right month, on the right day of the month, you take some of that money out of savings and apply it to the debt. Apply it to the debt and save the maximum amount of interest per dollar. We're optimizing every single dollar at that point, because you don't want to put your money on the debt and not know how much interest you don't want to do that and not know how much interest you're saving. You don't want to do that and do it in such a way as you're saving interest, but you don't know how much. You want to do it in such a way as that for every dollar, that dollar is working as hard as it possibly can for you to cancel as much interest as mathematically possible. Junior Shepherd has a point here. Says, good morning. This information is gold. Looking forward to learning more from you. And listen, calling me Donald. That is my entire name is Donald, not just Don. Look at Junior. Listen, I want you, everybody right now, we're going to take a little break, okay? We're going to reset this room. You're in the Pill Method Club this morning, and we're talking about ICE says pennies buy equity while your dollars pay interest. All right. And we want to hear from somebody who has actually learned this to be true and paid off their mortgage in record time by saving tons of interest. They did not pay the bank. They made their loan more efficient without having to make more money and without having to sacrifice lifestyle. They made it more efficient, and they didn't have to refinance the loan to make it more efficient. They made the loan that they already have more efficient, so more of their money went to principal and less of their money went to interest. Let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas right now.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, it's easy to find out. Go to ice10k.com. ice10k.com. All right. That's ice, the number 10 and the letter K.com. And you'll see a button there that says get a savings and earnings report. Click that button. Follow all of the instructions, including the instruction on how to verify your cell phone number. Click that button one time. How you doing, Kim? Kim has just joined us this morning. So this is how we do that. You follow the instructions, especially the one where you are verifying your cell phone number. Hit that verification button once. Wait for us to send you a text. In that text will be a code. Take the code, put it back into the website, and then you will be let into, once you click the button, of course, you'll be let into our financial form. Fill out the financial form. And when you fill it out, then the information you receive back, you will know the month, day, and year you could be debt free and how much interest you're going to save. And this is optimized, folks. We optimize this information. But you definitely want the consultation so that you will enter into this situation in a way that will benefit you most. I guarantee you it's not in the way you think. You want to be reoriented towards your money, towards lending, towards understanding where the weaknesses are in the lending process so that you can take advantage of the lending process instead of the lending process taking advantage of you. And let our opportunity cost calculator do all the math for you. It's like GPS for your money. There is no better or stronger way to save interest than using our AI system to do the math for you so that you can increase the amount of interest you're saving per dollar. All right. So we've got some other things here. So Ed, what are you saying here? What are you saying here? All right. So Ed is saying that let's go back up. People will prioritize entertainment over investment. Yeah, some people do, Ed, but most people, here's what I've found over 17 years. Most people are in the financial situation they're in with long-term debt because they're actually following the advice of financial experts. None of the financial experts that are on the planet today that are popular, either on TV, in books, radio, whatever their medium, they're not focused on how much it costs to manage the debt. And they're not making decisions based on cost. So people who are following the advice of these financial gurus are paying 75 to 80% more interest to get out of debt, even though they're following every step they've been given to manage their debt according to what's popular, according to what's being called best practices. We want to undo that today. We want to undo what people have been taught and do something better. Okay? So let's see what else we've got here. And I'm going to be looking at the comments. Here. All right. Ed says we're all married. We're all married to that woman. What, that woman that wants to have their house paid off, Ed? That feels better once everything is in order. You better believe it, because I'm married to that woman too. Security is very important to my wife. You better believe it. Okay. And so Ed also says, thanks for sharing, Donald. Says, thanks for sharing and making it an amazing day. Get that debt canceled, folks, so that you can buy more real estate. And folks, when you're buying more real estate, you're building net worth. But we're also going to show you how not to use your cash. Never, ever use your cash to buy a house. Use somebody else's cash. Use somebody else's cash. Leverage somebody else's money. But learn how to pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of it within the rules. Oh my goodness. Junior Shepherd says online, it is like following a doctor's instructions, but not getting well. Junior, oh my gosh. Can I use that? By following the advice of these financial gurus. I love that. Okay. This is what Junior says. It's like following a doctor's instructions, but not getting well. You better learn. You better say something up in here today, boy. All right. So listen, we got Credit Goddess in the room. Credit Goddess, listen, I tried invite to speak. Come on, let's bring you up here. Credit Goddess, I was trying to run this in the house today, but when I set it up, it didn't give me any functionality to do anything else. And I didn't know that.
Oh, no. Oh.
So I tried to run it in the house. Yeah, I need to talk to you. About how to do all of that. So listen, let's talk today. Okay. Show me how to run my house.
Okay.
Listen,
all right, I will.
All right, listen, I got a couple more comments here. Junior Shepherd says, when you take your health and wealth into your own hands, that's when life gets better. Oh my goodness. Okay, my friends, here's the whole purpose why we are here. So you're able to do that. You're able to learn the truth about lending and about credit. When you know the truth, then that's what sets you free here. Stop doing what the financial gurus are saying, because they're not taking into account that the advice that they give you is actually costing you more interest. Oh my goodness. What do we have here? All right. So this is, you are not wrong, Don. Math is hard. Well, listen, that's why we have a cloud-based, artificially intelligent computing system that does all of the math and then gives you instructions on what to do. And we save people so much interest that they use that we show them how to use the money they're no longer paying to the bank to pay for their lifetime system. You pay for it once and it's yours forever. Pay for it once and it's yours forever. And you can use it for house after house after house, using it to make sure that you get your equity and your net worth at a much lower cost. Credit Goddess, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people today.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Rosalore Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. All things credit, credit score improvement strategist, business credit coach, NAV business loan broker, credit educator at B.Free University. So I'm all things. I love to educate people on the subject of credit, because it's so much more than just a credit repair. Credit repair is just repairing your credibility. But it's all about building your credibility so that way you can be seen as someone that's credible, someone that is reliable, someone that is disciplined, someone that that will follow through. And that's quite a few of building credibility. So building credibility with the financial institutions opens up new doors for you, new opportunities to access their money. So I teach in that form of manner where it's all about relationships. So I have a room at my house tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. So definitely tap in. It's called Cream House or Cream Society, which stands for Credit Rules Everything Around Me. So join me tonight. Thank you, Don.
So Rose, and did you go ahead and put that up early? I mean, did you schedule that already? That room?
Well, it is a weekly.
Oh, it's a weekly
thing. So
right.
It's already up there.
Okay.
It reminds everybody, and they can RSVP too.
All right, now, but when you do it weekly like that, it allows you to open it up to everybody. It's not just a closed room.
No, it's not just a closed room. I mean, it is a closed room when you start it off, but you would have to click the 3 buttons to open out to the public.
So when you schedule a room, it doesn't give you that functionality when you start the room.
No, it doesn't. No, you would have to start the room.
Yeah.
You would have to click. Yeah.
So
it's not like this one where you just click start.
Right. And the other thing is I can't schedule 3 rooms a week. I have to do it one at a time.
I know. Yeah. It's only one at a time, which is, yeah. So you know what? They may bring that functionality in.
They have to.
We just gotta be patient. Yeah, I know. They have to. They have to. It's only right.
Yeah. So until they do, I've got to keep doing it this way, so I can go ahead and schedule. I can go ahead and schedule my rooms so that people can get in. But I would love to be able to do one in. I may. You know what? What I can do, I can schedule 2 rooms in my club, and I can do a recurring room in the house.
Yes.
Okay. So what we'll do is schedule next Wednesday. I'll just schedule Wednesdays in the house. And then Fridays and Sundays will be in the club. And Fridays will be in our club. And on Sundays will be in Mortgage Syndicate Club. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we could do that. We could do that. So, folks, if you want to see what we're up to, we'll see what we're up to. So we're pointing out how we're using pennies to buy equity. using pennies to buy equity while we are using our dollars to pay interest. All right. And we just found out from Eric Thomas how he made his wife very happy by learning that secret, how he could pay so much less interest so that he can have more of his money do the job that he intended it to do, is to pay for the house and create equity and create net worth. So, Credit Goddess, just a quick question here, all right? Just for the people who are in the listening lounge. Do you do more educating or do you do more re-educating or getting people to change or getting them off of what they thought they knew to be right? So which one do you do? More educating or more both? Re-educating? I don't listen. You tell us what you do. You listen. You answer the question any way you want.
Okay, I do a lot of educating to those that already know or that is already progressing forward, and they just need, just a little bit more knowledge as they're progressing along. But I have to do a lot of re-educating to the people that have had a different idea of what credit is. So I have to help them unlearn and then relearn, so that way we can get them on a path. Because a lot of times the things that we did learn, and if it was from a source of, from a space of trauma or from a space of bad experiences or just misinformation, we have to like unlearn that and then relearn the right way. People say that we weren't taught this in school. A lot of what we know when it comes to finances is what we learned from family members that have gone through it and just gave up. So they pass on that ideology down to their family and the next generation out of that. So we have to break out of this cycle and we want better. We have to get the education to get the full understanding, so that way that alone can put us in a position where we're progressing forward. But if we're stuck on the same ideology of what was taught to us or what was indoctrinated in us, and we're not moving forward or we're not seeing the bigger picture of things, we're just going to stay stagnant. So I have to do both, educating and re-educating, depending on who I'm talking to in the audience. But I do a little bit of both. That's why I use a lot of analogies, just, to make it relatable for those that falls on deaf ears. If they don't fully understand the terminology or the saying, I have to use analogies so that way it's relatable and they can pick up the information and retain it better. And then the educating part is for those that are proactive and they just want to learn as they go. So yeah, I do a little bit of both.
All right, good. Thank you very much for that. So listen, I want to pivot here for just a second and talk about where in life can you lose 60 to 80% of your wealth and still make it? Where else in life can you lose 60 to 80% of your wealth and still do well? Does anybody have an idea? I mean, let's say for the next 10 years, you lose 60 to 80% of your wealth, and at the end of that 10 years, you're still doing okay. Does anybody have any idea where you can do that?
Here in the U.S.?
Yeah, here in the U.S. You can lose 60 to 80% of your wealth year over year over year for the first 10 years, and at the end of that 10 years, you're still doing well financially. Anybody? Got any guesses?
You tell me. You tell me, Don.
Okay.
I don't want to guess.
All right, you don't want to guess. You don't want to guess. Borrowing money. Investing in real estate. Investing in real estate. You can lose 60 to 80% of your wealth year over year for the first 10 years and still do quite well. Let me give you an example. I'm going back to my screen here. I'm going back to my screen, and I don't even care what the interest rate is, okay? Let me show you something here because of what people have been saying. And if you want to see what we're talking about, go to Zoom and watch this. Okay, go to Zoom and watch this, folks, because this is going to be very interesting.
Not Zoom, Don, not Zoom.
Oh, did I say Zoom?
Yes.
I was gonna say, are we on Zoom?
No, folks, I am so sorry. I get so excited. I don't know where I am. Oh God. All right, I'm go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, and then you can see us there. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it. Okay. Go to YouTube and you can see us there. Okay. So I have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. I want to show you something for the first 10 years. For the first 10 years on this loan, we're going to be looking at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Okay. This is an investment property. This is an investment property that I paid $1,199.10 for every single month, but I'm renting it out at $2,500. $2,500 every single month. All right. Look at this. So I'm renting it out for $2,500. Okay. Hey, credit guys, I was looking at the rent in New York. Oh my gosh. How do people find jobs that pay them enough money to pay rent in New York?
I know. What kind of jobs are those? I asked the same thing too.
$3,000 to $5,000 a month. Oh my gosh. This is only $2,500 though. Okay. This is only $2,500. Okay. So we're going to subtract 1199.10. And so I'm cash. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. All right. 2,500. All right. And we're going to subtract 1199.10. And so I'm cash flowing $1,300 on this property. Okay. For the first, and then my rent just goes up from there. But my payment stays the same for the next 10 years. But my rent won't stay the same. My rent is going to increase, incrementally over the next few years, isn't it? So I'm actually going to make more money. But what do I mean if I can cash flow starting out at $1,300 a month on this? How am I losing 60 to 80% over the next 10 years and I'm still making a lot of money? This is how, folks, because I'm only looking at the front end of this thing, not the back end. The front end, I'm collecting $2,500 a month or more, and I'm paying $1199.10, and I'm cash flowing $1,300. But in that first year, to make that money, here's how it breaks down. The money that my tenant gave me over the year, $2,456 a penny went to principal, $11,933 went to interest. So even though I'm making $1,300 on the front end, nothing is really messing with that. Okay, I like that part. But what we don't pay attention to is this part where I paid out $11,933.19 plus $2,456.01 equals $14,389.20. So even though I'm making $1,300 a month on this thing, my tenant gave me $14,389 just on this one house. What if I have several houses? So $14,000 went through my hot little hand, credit goddess. Coffee brown. $14,389 went through my hands, and I'm only able to look at on the backside $2,400 worth of equity came out of that money. I'm increasing my net worth on the house itself by only $2,456.01 out of $14,000 being given to me. Ladies and gentlemen, if I take a look at that and say, wow, I paid $11,000, 11,933.19. Okay. So my total amount, so I paid, well, let's see here. My total amount was that $14,000. Okay. So let me add it all up again. 11,933.19 plus 2456. 2456.01. Now I'm going to write this down. 14,389.20. 14,389.20. All right. So now I take the interest that I paid, right? I take the interest that I paid, which is 11,933.19. That is how much money. That's how much interest I paid. But I'm going to divide it by the entire amount that I took in. The entire amount that I took in divided by 14,389.20. Okay, that's an 82% reduction of the money I brought in. I bring in money. I brought in $14,000, but 82% of the money that I brought in went up in smoke. Credit Goddess, how in the world that we get so far into this educating people about property, Coffee Brown, how do we get so far into educating about real estate and making money in real estate? But this part right here, just totally escaped us, where I can bring in $14,000. All right. I could bring in $14,000 and give away 82% of it and still make a lot of money. How did that escape us? And who does that benefit? So, ladies and gentlemen, if I were in banking, this is the scenario I would put forth. Make sure that everything you're doing is you buy the house correctly. You want to get it for less than market prices. So here's what you're hearing. You make your money when you buy. So you're going to negotiate. You're going to negotiate like heck to get that house at a good price. Then you're going to make sure that you negotiate well when you rehab the house. You're going to rehab that house and you're going to get it in good shape. And you're going to watch every penny as you're getting it in shape. You're going to watch every penny. And then you're going to find out how much you can rent it for. What is the market rent going for, so that you can put it out there and have somebody rent it, and and there's all sorts of education on how to get a good tenant and then get it manage the property correctly. So if I was in banking, I would give you all of that information so that you would be satisfied with the $1,300 in cash flow, but you're not paying any attention to the $14,000 you brought in that year, but you gave away 82% of it to me so that I can make sure that you have your $1,300 a month. Any comment on that, Credit Goddess or Coffee Brown? Yeah, that part. That is painful, folks. That we have existed this long. LaShawna, how are you doing? I see you in there, Monica. I see you, Mike. All right. I see all you new people in here. I see you, Kim. Listen, if you want to see what I'm doing, go to YouTube and search P.I.L.L method so you can see what I'm putting on the screen here. Man, oh man, I just get so excited to get this information out. It is so important. Why is it that we can miss that and think that's okay? Listen, not only do we think it's okay, listen to this part. I literally have people on this app arguing that I should not even pay attention to how much I'm paying in interest. They're arguing that I should not pay attention to, because my tenant is paying the rent. My tenant is paying the rent. My tenant is paying the house down. Only be satisfied with the $1,300 a month that I'm bringing in, and then be thankful that my tenant is paying the house down so I can get equity at $2,400 a year. $2,400 here. After 2 years, it's $5,000. After 3 years, I've got $7,800 in equity after 3 years. After 4 years, I have $10,770 in equity. But after 5 years, my tenant has paid my loan down by $13,891.20. But I've given the bank $58,000. $58,000 in interest. All of that money went through my hands. All 71,000 of those dollars went through my hand in the first 5 years. But I only get credit for $13,000 of it. The bank says, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me 80% of what you brought in 5 years. Thank you. And not only that, but I'm going to teach people who are teaching real estate to tell you that doesn't matter. That only thing that matters is your $1,300 a month. But don't pay attention to any of the part where $70,000 went through your hand and you only can show for it about $14,000 in extra equity. Don't even worry about that part. If I were in banking and I wanted to put information out there about how to get into real estate, this is how I would put it out, so that you would not touch my 83% that's coming back to me. And you're still making good money. So you don't even care about the fact that your tenant gave you this money, but 83% of that money that went through your hand goes to me. I would promote that every day of the week if I was a banker. Folks, don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's about time that we get some of that money back, that we don't have to pay all of that interest? You want to increase your net worth by using the money. Listen, I need somebody to put it in the chat right now. Put it in the chat right now. When the bank receives that money, what are they going to do with it? All of that interest money, what is the bank going to do with that money? Put it in the chat for me this morning. What is the bank going to do with that money? Good morning, Lashana. I see you, Lashana. Listen, what is the bank going to do with that money? Online or in Clubhouse? They're going to loan it out. Yep. What else? So are they going to make a profit with that money? Are they? How big a profit? A small profit? David is here today, folks. David Hunt is here. He says they're going to lend it to someone else. And Steve Mack says they're going to make a huge profit with that money. Listen, folks, I need everybody to wake up. If you're a real estate investor, if you are a home buyer, please, 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 please wake up. And even though you're making great money, stop giving 80% of it away. So let me show you what happens in the first 10 years on this loan. Tyson says, ooh, flames. You're paying pennies for equity and to build net worth. You're buying it with your pennies. But the cost is paying dollars to the bank in order so that you can use your pennies to buy equity. We need to switch that around. We need to give the bank pennies so we can use our dollars to buy equity. What do you say, everybody? What do you say? What do you say to that? All right. So let's go down to 10 years because credit guys, I said, if we did this for 10 years, that's 120 payments. I'm going to add it all up. Okay. Here's what we're doing, folks. Okay. Here's what we're doing. All right. I've been here an hour and a half. I'm winding down now. For the first 10 years, this is what real estate people are teaching. Be satisfied with your $1,300 or $1,400 a month you are bringing in monthly. Do not care about all the money you're paying out. How are you doing, Patricia? I'm glad you're here today. I see you in here, Aaron. I see you, Tyson. Okay, so let's add it all up. In the first 10 years, on this, remember, this property is cash flowing like crazy. 13, 14, and by the time you're 10 years in, it could be as much as $1,500 a month cash flow on just this one property. But I just paid, because I've been told to ignore it, because my tenant is paying the money, I've been told to ignore this. How much interest on this loan is $111,263.60. How much principal has been how much principal has gone to pay down the loan? Principal $32,628.40. So we're going to add to that. $32,628.40. There it is. That is a total of $143,000. I'm writing my notes down. $143,892. That is how much has gone through my hands in 10 years. Okay? That's how much has gone through my hands in 10 years. But $111,000 of that went to interest. So I'm going to take my $111,000. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to put our $111,000 in. All right, $111,000 in. 111,263.60. How much money did I bring in total? How much money did I pay out total? This money is the money my tenants gave me. $143,000 in 10 years my tenants gave me on this one property. So I'm going to divide that by the amount of money I received. 111,000 went to interest, so I'm going to divide that by the amount of money I received, 143,892 equals 77%. 77% of the money that came through my hot little hands went to the bank in order that I paid down the equity. I increased my equity by $32,000. I don't know what other business you can be in, still make a lot of money, and give away 77% of the money you brought into somebody else. Come on, people. Who else is teaching this? Where else are you getting this information except for the P.I.L.L method today? You want to ice this situation. Interest cancellation eliminates this madness. Ice your loans. Ice your equity. Ice your net worth. Stop giving away 77% of your money and stop letting people tell you it's okay. It ain't okay. Just because you're cash flowing just $1,500 and you should be satisfied with that. And guess what you're going to do with your $1,500? Guess what you're going to do with your you're going to see how you can get the best tax person you can find to help you to hang on to that amount of money. So if you listen, even if you could get it to $1,500, okay, I'm bringing up my other calculator here. Got $1,500, okay, $1,500 times 12, okay, that's $1,800. That's $18,000. I'm going to try to find the best tax person I can find to help me to hang on to as much as that $18,000 I can. But I'm not even concerned about the fact of the 77% of the money I gave away that I didn't have to. 77% of the money I brought through my bank account was given away in interest in the first 10 years. Folks, listen, isn't that a great marketing plan? Isn't that genius? How they're able to get us to think that that's okay and just be satisfied with the $1,500 a month. That is genius. I'm here now trying to tell you, you don't have to give away 77% of your money. What if you could cut that? What if you could cut that? Get the same equity for a lot less interest. Get the same equity for a lot less interest. That would be amazing. And you don't even have to sacrifice any of the money. You don't have to sacrifice any of the money that you're putting away for reinvesting. Every real estate person I know, every person who is a real estate investor, every person I know that does this for a living has money on the side. Even if you are a home buyer, you only have this one property. You do not have to pay all of that money in interest. Let's just say we could leverage this money. All right. So I'm bringing my $1,500 a month in. All right. My $1,500 a month. And out of that, I'm reinvesting most of it. And let's say I can put 10% of it away, $150 a month into a reserve account. I got $150 a month going into a reserve account so I can do repairs and maintenance. And I'm doing that on several properties. Okay. I'm doing that on several properties. So I got $150 a month I'm putting away, but it's sitting in the bank making 0.1%. Okay. So what if I could take some of that money? I got enough properties where I can I got 5 properties. Okay. And out of each property, I'm putting away $150 a month, 150 times 5. That's 750. So I'm putting away $750 a month out of my properties, $750 a month. I have quite a bit of money saved up. I got $15,000 saved up. $15,000. Okay. So if I take out $2,000, all right, and I put it on this loan, look what happens. Let's say $2,500. Let's say $2,500. If I take out $2,500 out of that, okay, I got $750 a month coming in. I take $2,500 out. Look, I can put $2,456 on this loan. If you want to see this, you want to go to the P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel. Okay, go to P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel and see this. Look for P.I.L.L Method and find this. I'm taking $2,456.01. I'm prepaying that. I'm taking money out of that account, $2,500, and I'm applying it to this loan. Guess what I just did? I just got $2,456 and a penny worth of equity, and I didn't pay $11,933.19 for it. I only paid $1,000 in interest for it. That's a $10,994 savings. What? $10,994. What? So what happened here? What happened here? I took money out of an account, all right, and I saved $10,000 in interest. Okay, watch this. 10,944.42. That is my savings I received by advancing that money to this loan, right? So I'm going to divide it by 2456.01. I moved the decimal point 2 places. Okay, that is a 445% return on that money that I had sitting in the bank. I took $2,400 out. So let's round it to $2,500. So now I got my $2,500 that I took out. All right, $2,500 that I took out. I've got $750 a month coming into that account. So I'm going to divide it by my 750. That's how much I'm bringing in every month, putting it back into that account. It takes me about 3 months to put that money back. Let's call it's 3.3 months. Let's call it 4 months. Every 4 months, I can take about $2,500 out of that and put it on this loan. So what would happen? So normally, every 4 months I could do this. Every 4 months I could do about $2,500. Okay. Every 4 months I could do $2,500. So in 10 years, 120 months, I would have $32,000. Okay. So if I could take that $32,000, $32,628. All right. So every 4 months, I put $2,500 on. $2,500. Okay. And I could do that. Let's say I could do that. Let's say I could do that 5 times. Okay. 2,500 times 5 equals $1,250. Okay. All right. $2,500. Oops. $2,500 times 10 is $25,000. Okay, $2,500 times 10 is $25,000. So every 4 months, I can do that. All right. So that would take me 40 months. All right, 40 months to get $2,500 in equity. $2,500 a month. It'd take me 40 months to get there. If I look at this, it would take me 98 months to get there the way that the real estate gurus are telling me. It would take me 98 months, almost 100 months to get there. I can get there in less than half the time and way less than half the interest cost by leveraging some money that's sitting in my bank account, making less than 1/10 of 1%. Folks, does anybody have anything to say about that? Pat, there you are. Says Don is the best. Thank you, Pat. But she says Don is the best. We love this software. Almost done completing the info. We are excited to see how quickly we can pay off our current home loans. Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Patricia. We appreciate you for that. Folks, all we're trying to do is get you to take a look at what you're doing to purchase equity and how the banks have been very good at keeping us from looking at what they're doing. Folks, stop giving away 70 to 80% of your money that is coming through your hot little hands, especially if you're a real estate investor, and thinking that's okay just because somebody else is paying the bill. Cut your interest cost by 50, 60, 70%, 75%. We can show you how to do that. And you don't have to sacrifice money that you've already set aside to invest. Leverage the money, We're going to show you how to leverage that money correctly that's sitting in your bank account, just waiting for something to go wrong so you can, do your repairs and maintenance. When people move out, repaint, recarpet, the money's still there. It's always going to be there because you're intentional about making sure it's there. But stop letting it be lazy when it's not working. Let it save you interest and get your equity, get your net worth a lot cheaper. Stop treating all of that interest as the cost of doing business because you don't have to do it anymore. My goodness, I am so excited about this today. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, we're getting ready to get out of here. We're getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to let you all go. Does anybody else have any questions or any comments to make about what you learned today? Because we're almost done. Almost done. And we may even be able to get out a little early if I don't have any questions or comments. I do have a couple of moderators on the stage. Moderators, if you're able to do an outro, flash your mics. Flash your mics if you're able to do an outro for us this morning, because we're almost done. All right. I think I saw something. Monica says, thank you. Thank you, Monica, for being here. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been anywhere else, but you were here. I appreciate you for being here today. Anybody else have anything to say? Any questions? Any comments? Well, listen, let me take this time to do a little promoting. Okay. We're going to take this off the screen. All right. I need to go down our promotions right now. All right. We're going to go right down the screen. Let us talk about how you can, if you're a real estate investor, or if you are a home buyer, okay, how can you know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, or how quickly can you amass equity? How quickly can you amass equity and grow your net worth for a lot cheaper? Get a savings and earnings report. Fill out the information. It's not hard. Start treating your loans from a position of strength. Okay. All right. Eric said he came in late, but very informative. But look, Eric, you can watch the replay, right? All right. Listen. So folks, get your savings and earnings report done today. Do it today. Don't wait. Do it today. Go to my link up above, or if you're watching us on YouTube, go to ice10k.com. That's ICE, the letter 10. I'm sorry, the number 10 and the letter K.com. You'll find a button that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Click it and follow all of the instructions. Fill out the financial form with all of your debt and the income and all the information we asked you. It should take you less than 15 minutes. And my staff will then take it and then prepare for you a report and then set up a consultation. So 15 minutes can save you on average of $150,000 per property. On average, $150,000 in interest you don't have to pay. Isn't that amazing? So stop giving it all to the bank and take that money that you would have given them and invest it in your family. Grow your net worth with that money. Stop giving it to the bank. Borrow money at a discount. We're going to show you how to do that. Now, also, folks, don't forget, if you've been inspired, if you have been inspired by this information, why don't you help us? I need your help. Share this. Send people to the YouTube channel. Send them to the YouTube channel and say, watch these videos. Help me to spread the word. Send them to the YouTube channel. Also, you can become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate for free. Use the same card, ice10k.com, or click the link above our heads there in Clubhouse. Click the link and then first two buttons. Become an affiliate. Tell us how you'd like to get paid. And then when you find someone who has, and this is the qualifying amount, they have to have at least $100,000 in debt and have a mortgage. They have to have at least $100,000 in debt and have a mortgage. If you send them, if they are interested in what we're doing, you fill out the card next to the affiliate card and put in their information, put your name in as the referring partner, your name and phone number, and then you send it in to us. When they become a client, I'll pay you $300 for each one you send me that becomes a client. Now remember, they have to have at least $100,000 in debt and a mortgage for you to qualify for the referral fee. Okay, so remember that. And we have to put that in because, if somebody comes in and says, I've got, let's say they only have $25,000 in debt. Well, that's not much we can do with that to help them. I can give them some advice. All right. But we want, the more debt they have, the better. We love it when they have a lot of debt and we can help them save a ton of interest and get out of debt in 7 to 9 years. Okay. So there you go. Get my book today. Go to Amazon. The same button, the same link will take you to my book. Get the book today. Start learning about how to ice your loans, how to ice your situation, how to increase your equity using interest cancellation, how to cut your interest cost using interest cancellation, how to start building generational wealth with interest cancellation techniques by understanding that interest cancellation eliminates your loans, eliminates ignorance about loans, eliminates our old ideas about loans, and then implements new strategies. That's what we're going to be talking about. We talk about interest cancellation also gives us great new ideas about what to do with our finances. So get your savings and earnings report, get the book, and become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate and share this information out with people. Give it to them. Let them know that there's somebody who's out there teaching this information to them. So, folks, I'm all done. Oh, Crystal, I didn't even see you in here. Come up to speak. Crystal, how are you doing this morning? I'm trying to bring you up. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
All right.
Editing the purchase agreement.
Okay.
I hate I missed most of the room, but I just wanted to pop in and support while I could.
I appreciate it. We had a very good room today. We were talking about how people were using pennies to purchase equity and our dollars are paying interest, and we're turning that around. We're going to stop looking at that. Stop looking at that. We will learn some very powerful information about having, and I got a loan up here, Crystal, and I want to say this one more time because this is exciting. In the first 10 years of this loan I have on my screen, $200,000 at 6%. And this property is cash flowing $1,300 to $1,500 a month. But in the first 10 years, the renters gave us $143,000 in rent for the first 10 years. $143,000 they gave me. $143,982 that they gave me in 10 years. But 77% of that paid interest. They gave me $143,000, but 77% of it went up in smoke. But real estate investors want me to be satisfied with the $1,300 to $1,500 I can bring in every month. And the fact that I increased my equity by $32,000. So out of the $143,000 my tenants gave me, I was only able to put $32,628 on my mortgage. I can't justify giving away 77% of my money. I can't. I want to get the same equity for a lot less. So thank you very much for being here. So as we get ready to get
I
out,
do have a question.
go right ahead with
You
your question.
mentioned, I'm sorry, you mentioned that in order for someone to be referred to you for the affiliate, that they needed $100,000 in debt. Is that in addition to their mortgage or including their mortgage?
It can be including their mortgage as long as they have $100,000 in debt and a mortgage.
And a mortgage. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So if only like 50,000 of that is a mortgage and the rest is credit cards. that's
Exactly.
Okay.
Or it could all be about the mortgage. Yeah.
Right, because that's most people's mortgage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, but we have to have a certain amount involved in that to be able to do that. So, Berna wants to come up and ask a quick question. Invite to speak. Okay, we got a few seconds left in here. Good morning, Berna. How are you?
Good morning, Don. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Do you have a question in our last few seconds?
Yes. Do you your book on Amazon? Do you have Audible copy?
Audible
To
copy?
listen? Yeah.
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. No, I was just curious. That's what I wanted to ask. And as you may remember, I am regular in your room, and I listen replay sometimes too. Thank you so much, and you have a great day.
Same to you. Same to you. Although we don't have an Audible copy, we do have a digital one. If you like to read it on a device, okay, so you can
On the Kindle, like e-readers.
Yep, e-readers,
Okay.
Kindle, that sort of thing. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Don.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, Crystal, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, and then I'll end it up and say goodbye.
Good morning again, everyone. My name is Crystal Armstrong. I'm based in Dallas, Texas. I'm a licensed escrow officer for the state of Texas. So I'm a mortgage closer. And I own a couple of other businesses, which makes me a multifaceted entrepreneur, but some of them are vertically integrated. And this one is the most time consuming. So I always pop in to hear what Mr. Don is talking about, just so I can pass the information along to my clients and also hopefully refer some of them to him as well. So again, it's always great to be in this space, and thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Oh, folks, she is also, amongst other things, a travel agent. So if you're getting ready to go somewhere, give her a call. She'll put together the whole deal for you. Okay. She's pretty well traveled herself. Okay. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for being here and listening to me talk and share this information. I am so passionate about getting this information out so people can stop giving 60, 70, 80% of their money away to the banks in the form of interest, and so little of your money is actually building your net worth. It doesn't have to be that way. We're going to be back here on Sunday. I want to thank, on Friday. We're going to be back here on Friday to do it all over again. Look out for what we're doing. And I'll be glad to share more information with you about what is really going on in the financial world. You deserve to know. And keep this in mind. Most people are in the financial position they're in, not because they are not taking care of their money. They're not in that financial position because they are, spending more than they make. They're not in that financial position. They're in the financial position they're in because they're listening to gurus, financial gurus, giving them this advice that's supposed to be best practices. Folks, let's get rid of all of that old information. Let's put in the new information so that we can start building generational wealth. And let's start with let's cut the interest that cost that we have by 75 to 80%. Let's start there. All right. So we'll see you. Trying to visit Dubai, send her my way. Junior Shepherd, you know I'm leaving for Dubai on the 12th of March. So Junior Shepherd says, Crystal, you need to get a hold of Crystal Armstrong, and I'm going to send you her card information if you're not already on Clubhouse. So I'll send you her information so that you can give her a call. All right. And set this up. All right, folks. Thank you so very much. And we'll see you later. And let's see you on Friday. Let's listen to Dr. Eric Thomas one more time as we say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. See you on Friday.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.